Students, good morning students. In the previous video we have completed the chapter that was about Bismillah Khan. That was the second part of the Sound of Music, that was about Bismillah Khan. So today we are going to start the other part of the second chapter, that is the poem Wind. It is written by Subramanya Bharati and it is translated from the Tamil by A.K. Ramanujan. So, Subramanya Bharati is a great Tamil poet famous for his patriotism in the pre-independence era. And the translator A.K. Ramanujan is a Kannada and English poet well known for his translation of classical and modern poetry. So, before beginning with the explanation of the poem, I will just give you an introduction, give you an introduction of the poem, that what is the poem all about. We all know that wind is a natural phenomenon. In this poem, the poet talks to the wind. The power of wind has been described, and the poet says that wind is destructive. He has linked the destructive power of wind of the adversities of life and says that the weak people break down, but stronger people emerge out of adversities stronger. So here there is a comparison also. The poet has compared the wind's destruction power with the adversities of life. The poem gives an important message that we should be mentally tough and physically strong in order to survive the hardships of life. A weak person breaks down like a weak building and crumbles. We must make these destructive forces our friends with our strength and determination. So, this is the introduction of the poem. Let's begin with the explanation. So, wind comes softly, don't break the shutters of the windows, don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books, you brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. So, in these lines, two words are, a little bit tough for you and new for you. That is poking fun. Poking fun means making fun of something. Weaklings, a person who is weak. So, in these lines, the poet is talking to the wind. He asks the wind to come softly, slowly. So, he is saying that the wind should not be very strong and loud. It should be soft and subtle. Then he says that the wind is very powerful, it is destructive. In the next lines, in the line third, in lines, it breaks the shutters of windows and scatters the papers. When the wind is very powerful, all the books which are kept on the shelf fall down. So here the poet is describing the power of the wind. So the poet is asking the wind to calm down, to come softly. Then he says to the wind to look at the destruction that it had done. Whenever there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak, like small plants, tiny children, etc., they all get scared and they can even fall and get hurt. We can say that in the initial part of the poem, the poet is referring to wind as a young child. He is saying that it should come softly, just like a small child does. In the later part, we come to know that the wind is destructive, just like a youth, just like a young boy or a young girl who is full of energy, violence and destruction. So, next part is frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. So, crumbling everywhere in these lines. So, what is the meaning of crumbling? It is falling or to cause something to break. When something breaks in small parts, that is crumbling. Rafter, sloping beams which support the roof of the building, that is a rafter. Beam kind of thing that supports the roof of a building. You have noticed that in these lines the word crumbling is repeated so many times. Why? To lay stress that everything crumbles, everything breaks in the face of a strong wind. So the writer is saying that when wind is very powerful, it is very strong, it leads to breakage of everything. Houses which are weak, they fall. Doors which are weak, they fall. The beams on which the roofs of the building are supported, rafters, they also fall. All the wooden structures fall. All bodies of people, animals, lives, hearts, everything fall down. So he is saying that everything crumbles. Everything that is weak reacts by falling down and breaking in the face of adversity. Here I am using the word adversity. It is the comparison with the life. So the poet is saying that whenever a weak person faces any adversity or challenge in life, he breaks down and falls. Then the wind god winnows and crushes them all. So here the word winnows. What could be the meaning of winnows? To broke grain free of chaff, separate grain from husk by blowing on it. The meaning when ladies they used to clean the grains, so the material, that outer material, that husk, they used to clean it by blowing air. Grains are heavy, they don't blown, and that husk that is light, that is blown off. So the poet is addressing to wind as wind god, and he is saying the powerful god of wind winnows. That means he sifts all the people, and those who are weak fall down and get crushed. So here a comparison is made between wheat and people. Here is a comparison. Just like we winnow the wheat to separate the grain from chaff, the wind god separates the strong people from the weak people. When there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak fall and get crushed. It is very important line. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. One more time I am telling you the meaning of winnows. It is to broke grain free of chaff. चैफ को हम निकाल देते हैं, भूसा भी जिसको बोलते हो आप लोग, ठीक है. सेपरेट ग्रेन फ्रॉम हस्क बाय blowing on it. So in this line the poet is addressing to wind as wind god, and he is saying that the powerful god of wind winnows. That means he shifts all the people, and those people who are weak fall down and crushed. So here a comparison is made between wheat and people. Just like we winnow the wheat to separate the grain from chaff, the wind god separates the strong people from the weak people. When there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak, they fall and get crushed. We won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's joint the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body, make the heart steadfast. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. Steadfast means firm, strong. Beautiful lines. The poet wants us to make friends with the wind. In this paragraph, in these lines, the poet wants us to make friends with the wind. For instance, the adversities in our life. So we must face the adversities in our life with a friendly manner, with a strong manner. He says that the problems will not listen to us. Problems are not going to listen to us. They will come. So we should be prepared. In preparation, we should build strong homes and close the doors of our house firmly so that the wind cannot get into. And then he says that we should also make our bodies strong and hearts firm to face these challenges. And then once we are strong enough, all the challenges will be like our friends. We will not feel that they are troublesome. These are very beautiful lines. In these lines there is a lesson of your life, that you should be prepared. And if you will be prepared, these problems will become your friends. Then the wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So the poet has kept the wind on a pedestal. He is comparing the wind to God. He says the wind is God and we praise wind every day. And he adds here that everything that is weak get finished of it in the face of the strong wind, and all the things that are strong they flourish and grow to become stronger. He is giving us very important message that we should not feel bad if we are facing so many challenges and adversities in life. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong to face these challenges, and once we are strong enough we will overcome the challenges. We will become friends with them, and then we will be happy that we had these challenges in our life, because they help us become stronger and better. So students, other things we will explain in the next video. Till then, revise the video or revise this poem. Thank you. Have a nice day.